Maxwell at the other end, so that'll be interesting. Now Waters is going to an opponent there. I think it's Wellingham.
Jolly gets a free there. Advantage paid. So Beams takes off, runs to 50, has to deliver, and delivers on cue.
Gee, that's a good finish from Dane Beams. I'm not sure if he was a little confused when he started playing on. He was running back, in actual fact, away from goal, virtually towards the centre circle. As you see him here, he starts running away from goal, then he turns around and he arcs back towards goal. But has he got some penetration on the kick? A terrific finish from the 50-metre arc.
Some of these West Coast players have played in front of in their young careers. Brennan, one of them, for solo. Just beyond his range.
He's a good kick of the footy, Dwayne. I think he'd nearly back himself to get the journey from there. We just saw Dane Beams comfortably make it from 50, and he's gone back to give himself a good run-up of momentum.
He's kicked 14-8 this year from the square. Gets plenty of shoe on it. That's all the way home.
And that started from
Wellingham caught. Thomas getting plenty of it early. Side bottom to Maxwell. They are hot, the Pies. Cloak edges his opponent, Mackenzie out. Runs in, open goal. Spectacularly good start for Collingwood.
That's unlucky for him, Mackenzie.
Yeah, they come inboard to Lynch, and the spaces start to open up. Kerr runs for him. Runs to the paint of the 50. Drives it long, goal square. Hands is up. Can't mark it. Gathers his own crumb. Spins, kicks, goals. Boy, did they need that.
He'd worked his way down the goal.
And Tom Young back in after initially being dropped. Darling up. Hands to it, couldn't mark it. Kerr. And now hands can get and go. Cox calls for it. And he pops it to the top of the square. Shepherd's there, and he marks front spot.
Gee, that's a terrific mark.
Having his best ever season, Brad Shepherd. 7th game of the year. Massive kick. Cool head. West Coast have kicked the last 2. Side bottom for Solo. But Mackenzie could grab this. It comes hard. Flicks it down. Free kick. Play on advantage. Cloak. There's no one in the square. He could go for home and roll it. He dumps it. It's low. It skids. It is a beautiful kick. That is as good as it gets.
Well, that was started by Swan. We talked about Kerr earlier on, but that was started by Swan out of the back half because Kerr actually didn't go to him. And then this is a really well thought out kick, Jace, I think he just
ran his full 15.
Yeah, he realised exactly where he was, and he realised, well, if I kick a big high one, it's probably going to swing. I don't mind that one. Just gives it a real chance to lob on the goal line, and just hope that
the crowd's darling there. Collingwood fans enjoyed every piece of that. Lynch out of the ruck, got one high, and he'll line up at goal.
That's really messy from Clark, isn't it, really? It's just really messy tackle. The guy's got his head over the ball. You've got to be just more careful in what you approach to the football, particularly when you're 20 metres out from goal.
He's going to leave the right glove on while he kicks. He used to take it off.
He has been doing that a bit this year. To make it a one-kick game, never in doubt. And the West Coast Eagles are back.
Yeah, look, that's just a gift.
Can't gather and go. Neither can Waters. Little fumble. It's been that kind of game. For Solo. To Beams. Will Cloak get a run at this? He's manhandled it. He still marks it.
Not as if it was a low dart.
He's taken the most contested marks in the competition again this year for the 2nd year running, and that was a ripper. And he finishes it off with his 3rd goal of the afternoon. Nat Newig attacks it with Jolly. Beams caught by the arm. Kerr shovels it out. Rosa. Shuey to the top of the square, and it works. Hands was in the hole.
Now, mind you,
intensity. Lots of turnovers, fumbles, drop marks, missed kicks. Finals pressure, but Ashton Hands is up to it.
And if we see this vision again,
Big stage pressure for you. Selwood gets a rare touch. Kerr, Naitanui in a one-on-one. Got a hand on it, couldn't bring it in. Gathers, in turn gathered. Somehow raked it free, somehow got it up, and somehow Hill levels the scores.
well, that's Steen had a stoppage. So both teams are really losing their direct opponents around the clearances now in general play.
Gee, that's a good grab. Free grab, take your pick. You got one to the ear, hands it up to Shuey. They have not seen the lead in this game, the West Coast Eagles. Collingwood has led from the outset.
Expected a blaze away and just chipped it to space. Darling's so quick on the lead.
Goal umpire does some dancing. He's got it, and for the first time today, the West Coast Eagles lead. Shaw has a tackle. Shuey just gets the kick away in time. Shepherd up with Swan, but he's too clever. He takes off, and it opens up for Collingwood now. Dane Beams didn't want to go for home. Changes his mind, loads up long. Spectacular. Inspirational.
I reckon that's twice in this match now we've seen Dane Beams at the last minute change his mind, head to goal and tee off from outside 50. He's an exceptional kick of the footy. Mitch Brown got caught 2 or 3 times. Indecisive coming out of defence for the Eagles. They put themselves under pressure. That's a good body spoil there from Eric McKenzie. He takes Travis Cloke with his body as he comes in, and he's feeling the strain of that. And then look at this finish. Wasn't sure, ran his full 15, and then across the body.
I'll tell you what, there's a lot of Russian roulette, Dwayne, going through the midfield.
Final preview we're watching here. They could be dissecting this tape in September. Hill gets free, thought about it, gives it. Lynch needs to get around a tackler, hammers it towards goal. And that's against the flow for the West Coast. They lead by 7. Side bottom, got it from Beams, gives it to Thomas. So the big gun starting to fire. Sidestep from Thomas. Some artistry towards Cloke. Taps it down. Blair, he rolled it, and he goaled it. Jared Blair ties the scores. Sensational. Swan called to go. Finds Shaw, finds Beams. The perfect man. And it opens up for him. Blair. 20 from goals for 2 in a row.
The Eagles forwards.
Extended his contract for 2 more seasons after this one during the week, Jared Blair. And he delivers. Collingwood get the lead back.
Well, I'll tell you the other one, Jason.
Hack forward by Marley Williams. For Solo. Blair, who's kicked 2 goals in this term. Inside to Elliott. Peels it wide to Cloke. Throws some grass in the air. The toughest of all angles. Holds his body on an angle. Strikes it beautifully. Can you believe it? Pure gold.
Well, that is exactly what Travis Cloke can do.
In the ball now inside forward 50. Swan a presence and Cloke marking inside forward 50.
Now, you talk about Swan's presence. He's off for a spell, but he's had 10 possessions already in the 3rd term.
Beams launches in the Cloke direction. He's got another contested mark.
That fell into his hands. He wasn't even looking to mark that.
I'd love to see that again.
He was too. Well, he did keep his eyes on
I'll tell
it
you what, you're
beautifully,
absolutely right, Jace. That's a really good example of keeping your eyes on the football.
His price is rising. It's managed by Ralph Carl, who manages musicians like Tina Arena, Vanessa Amorosi, and Cloke is well and truly on song right now.
The midfield of the Collingwood Football Club's got right on top.
Darling, all the way down to half-back. Caught, dropped it. Beams, after Jolly gave it to him. Side bottom, that is brilliant. Gave it up just in time for Solo. Cloke, not touched! Bounced through, beat them all, and Collingwood hot to trot right now.
How does that not get touched? I'm not too sure, was it? Again, really good pressure. Nice quick hands from Darren Jolly. Good quick kick in. And well controlled. Here it is here. Oh, gee, just went underneath Glass there. So
I think he was worried about the big bounce over his head.
I think so.
And just scooted straight along.
Oh, gee whiz.
He's to find a target with this kick, and he's missed a few. Swan, after Tooby couldn't gather. Back in the Tooby direction, not clear. Nat knew he could be the man. Feeds it to Shuey. Breaks free. Marston, stand start. That's against the flow. And that was quality street from the West Coast. Hugs the boundary towards Cloak. Through some hands, side bottom. Tapped it but didn't realise Glass was there. De Hearn threads it through. Pritis, Kerr, 4 metre kick to Lynch, but it worked. Created some space. He could go for goal from just outside 50. Sizes them up. And that's vintage Daniel Kerr. And they are on the way back.
I reckon he's as tired as he's been all match. Didn't know if he had the energy. Here's the spoil from Maxwell. I think Coxie might have made that look a little worse than it was. But then Daniel Kerr, the kick was tired. And then he had to get it back. And he had to keep running. Then he thought, what am I going to do? I've got to find a way to be able to kick it the best part of 50 metres, and he just had the energy to get it there.
With the withdrawal of Chris Tarrant. So the West Coast Eagles in some ways with the sub first to blink. Waters again to the pocket. And Darling, magnificent hands.
Well, it was a good kick too. He kicked away his head.
It's the centre of the AFL universe for the next 16.5 minutes. Everybody in the AFL eyes on this battle for top spot. And Darling pulls one out of the fire. Almost the mark against Jolly. Flicks a handball out in Pritis' direction. It opens up. Waters about to be run down. Bang, gone. No free. Could have been ball. He was tangled, but he did have it knocked clear. Swift, the sub, gets a kick. Cox to Shepherd, to the hot spot. Nat Nui!
Well, you can see what the Collingwood fans are upset about. They don't think Bo Waters disposed of the ball properly. He got run down from behind. It didn't look like he made any contact with the footy. But Bo Waters took advantage of that and then got involved in the next couple of scraps, which enabled the ball to end up with Nick Nat Nui.
That's what he has ahead of him. It's a 3-point game, and this one has hit fever pitch. Shovels it out. Swift. Gaff. Rosa. Confidence rising. Shepherd bangs it long. Darling. Hill back of the pack.
He just lurks around and give West Coast the lead.
They've flicked the switch, the West Coast. And they steal the lead from Collingwood.
He just put his arms out. And that is not making an effort. Now, I know he had no chance of getting it out, but you've got to make it look like you're trying. That's what the umpire wants.
Temperatures rising by the second. That could be a free. It is. 7.5 minutes left. And again, the crowd in full voice.
Players all over the ground now.
Possession number 34 for Dane Swan. For Dane Beam, sorry.
61-degree angle to give Collingwood the lead with 6 minutes 45 left.
It's just become a very
Nat Nui. Marston through hands. Just a little too strong with the handball. Tooby, Shaw. Again, Elliott over the top. It wasn't his.
Well, they've got to be careful not to give away a free kick.
Yeah.
Could someone be a hero for the West Coast? Towed away. Side bottom the sidestep. Dangerous kick. 15 seconds left. Thomas attacks it hard. Cut off. Rolls to Glass. Hands it up to Hearn. Bang. Dispossessed. Thomas gathers. They should win at Collingwood. Kicks it wide. And here's one of the most magnificent sounds in the world. 73 Collingwood fans in full cry.
Yeah, what a great game.